Hey everybody, it's Josh. Welcome to the Landlord Harassment Channel. So this is the video that I was alluding to in my last couple of videos, the big information drop with regard to Haverkamp properties and their harassment against me and so on and so forth. Now, I got my 3-day notice to vacate yesterday. And that's created a lot of stress for me. I didn't sleep a wink last night. But I'm actually not even going to cover that in this video. I'm going to cover that in another video. But I'm just going to go ahead and get on with the title of this video. Dear Brent Haverkamp and other Haverkamp executives, please fire Brooke Farmer. Now, I'm not going to give you a detailed rundown in this video of everything Brooke's done to me because I've made plenty of other videos about that. But sorry, I forgot to shut my heater off before I started recording again. I don't know why I keep forgetting that. But I'm going to start with a basic rundown, and then I'm going to get into the subject of this video. So Brooks, over the last year, has written me bogus notices to quit, not based on actual lease violations, but based on rules that she made up on the spot for me and only for me. She's threatened to evict me several times. She's shown up at my house. Every time I try to do something about the noise in here, whether I leave a note for the neighbors telling them to stop pounding on my ceiling, whether I pound on the ceiling back to get them to stop, every time I do that, Brooke gives me some kind of behavioral violation or an email, or she comes to my house, or she threatens me with eviction. And now I'm facing a real eviction just for telling the neighbors to stop pounding on my ceiling. So I believe I'm probably the first person in the history of Iowa, if not the United States, who's being evicted for having his right to asserting his right to peace and quiet, and not letting his landlord bully him out of his right to peace and quiet. I'm sure like old people have been evicted for this before, like old people who can't stand hearing a single sound. You know what I mean? Like some old 60, 70-year-old guy who can't handle the sound of even a normal TV next door. Guys like that who might pound on the walls or whatever, I can see them being evicted. But as far as me, or as far as my situation, I'm pretty sure I'm the first guy in Iowa, or possibly the whole country, who's getting evicted for these reasons. Anyway, let's get back to the subject at hand. No, so she's fined me too, numerous threats to evict me, sent the cops to my door for the sole purpose of trying to intimidate me into shutting down the YouTube channel. She's reached out to my neighbors for the purpose of trying to get them to report on me. And again, there's times that she seems to know every move I make. There's been more than a few times where she's questioned me about just really small conversations I've had with my neighbors, like these little 1 or 2 minute conversations. And I'm thinking, like, how did you even know that, right? Like, how did you even know about that conversation? And of course, she makes sure nothing gets done about my complaints. I can complain to her about the noise 300, 400 times. It doesn't matter. But the minute I make some noise back, or I leave a note telling neighbors to stop making noise, I'm the bad guy. I get written up. I get threatened with eviction. Now I'm getting taken to court for eviction. I mean, it's just craziness. But Brooke has now taken it a step even beyond that. In the last week, I have found out that Brooke has done something so stupid, so outrageous, and so violating to our tenant-landlord agreement that even I can't believe it, and I didn't think Brooke could surprise me, but she did. So here we go. Here's what that is. Last week, I started getting crazy comments on my YouTube channel. Now, you get trolling comments all the time. That's just part of being on the internet. But these particular comments had me curious because they seem to go beyond just normal trolling. This guy seemed to be trying way too hard to defend Brooke and to defend something he shouldn't have been defending, really. So let me read a couple of these comments. This guy was calling himself JH. He later changed his name to F-U. Anyway, so here's his first comment. So just curious here, bud. How do you know so much about Brooke? How do you know who her mother is? From your videos, you sound like you're the one stalking and creeping, you weird something something. Your obsession with Brooke's life is sickening and quite disturbing. Yeah, because I'm so obsessed with Brooke's life. I just want more of Brooke in my life. That's what I really want. Whatever you get out of this deal is what you deserve, talking about the eviction. Now, what he's talking about is when a couple of videos ago, I made a video explaining that I'm aware that Brooke's mom is a prominent accountant at another real estate company here in town. And this guy seems to think I did some deep, dark web dive to find that stuff out, but I really didn't. That was easy information to find out. How I found that out was so there's a church in Ames called Cornerstone. It's a mega church. There's a ministry called Salt Company. It's a big college ministry, and Salt Company is part of Cornerstone Church. So in Ames, you have what's called the Salt Cornerstone Network. I used to have a lot of friends in that network. I don't really anymore. There's nobody really left around anymore that I still know. But people from like the 2019 and beforehand era, so from 2019, 2018, 2017 and before, I know a lot of those people. So when Brooke really stepped up her harassment game and started knocking my door, I got curious as to why she was being so bold with her harassment. And I thought, she's got to have some serious connections here because she works for a big company that big landlord companies aren't going to risk harassing people like this and open themselves up to lawsuits like this. So she must have some good protection. So I reached out to some of my old Cornerstone friends and I asked a couple of questions. And I wasn't researching into her family. Well, I sort of was, but I was trying to figure out, is Brooke Brent Haverkamp's daughter? Is she Todd Wiesenberg's niece? Is she Vinny's cousin? These are the kind of things I was trying to figure out. But it got back to me that Brooke's mom's a prominent accountant at another real estate company. And when I heard that, I said, oh, okay, there's that connection. I found that out back in like August, like right after Brooke knocked my door, a couple of weeks after that. So I stored it in my old memory bank here, and I'm saving it for a later date, particularly a future lawsuit. So that's how I came to that information. It wasn't no sort of deep dive into anybody's personal life. Anyway, this guy's next comments. What kind of sick person makes a video degrading somebody for doing their job? ? This is apparently saying it's Brooke's job to harass me, I guess. I don't know. And he says, dude, what are you on? Implying that I'm on drugs. And finally, this last comment from the same guy. You're looking like a pile of you know what. You're looking as high as you know what. So these comments got me curious because I get trolling comments all the time. That's just part of being on the internet. It's part of making videos. You deal with it, you ignore it. But these didn't seem like regular trolling comments to me. These seemed like they were a little bit extra, like this person was just trying a little bit too hard. So I did a little thing. I got curious and I did a little thing. I did a little bit of internet research. And what I came to find out was that this is somebody from Brooke's personal life. So what this means is that Brooke's harassment has gotten so bad that she's now sending people from her personal life to attack me on my social media. And I'm her tenant. Now, let me clear something up here first. It very well could be, some of you might say, well, maybe Brooke didn't tell this person to do that. Maybe this person was drunk one night and did this behind Brooke's back, right? I can buy that. I can even accept that. But there's still a major problem here. There is something called landlord-tenant confidentiality. The fact that this person is making comments on my YouTube channel at all, and is very obviously somebody close to Brooke, means that Brooke has been talking about her tenants, in this case me, to people in her personal life. That is a huge violation of landlord-tenant confidentiality. It's against the law, and in some cases it can be a felony. Beyond that, it's a violation of every real estate and landlord ethical code that I know about. So I'm amazed that Brooke did this, and Brooke's been talking about me to people in her personal life, because it could open her up to so many problems. So many problems. Nobody wants to hire a landlord that's going to talk about their tenants, who's known to talk about their tenants in their personal lives. So this is really huge. This is really big. Brooke violated pretty much every ethical code there is to being a landlord with this one. And she possibly committed a felony in doing so. And so this is why I titled the video what I titled the video, which is Dear Brent Haverkamp and Other Haverkamp Executives. Please fire Brooke Farmer. Not only has she put me through all this harassment she's done over the last year, made rules that won't apply to me and only to me, watch me like a hawk, made sure I have no remedy in here to deal with the noise situation, has tried to harass me out of my lease and is about to be possibly successful in doing so. But now there's good evidence that she's been talking about me, her tenant, to people in her personal life. I know she's a family friend of a lot of yours, but there's got to be some cases where that family friend stuff goes out the window. And if she talked about me in her personal life enough for this guy to want to comment to me all this weird stuff, then what else did she divulge about me? She has access to a lot of personal information about me. Did she divulge my debit card information? Did she divulge the names of people who have helped me out with rent in the past? Did she divulge any manner of personal information that she has easy access to? This raises all those questions, and it needs to be investigated. So, I'm making a video here, making a lot of accusations. So what I have to say to Brent Haverkamp and other Haverkamp executives is, do not take my word for it. I'm not looking for you to take my word for it. I want you to do your own research. Use your own digital tools. Use IP. Use DNS. Use any other manner of perfectly legal digital tools to to verify what I'm saying. Now, I'm going to be putting the screenshots of these comments from this person that's close to Brooke in her personal life at the end of this video, so that you can see them all and you can do what you want with them. These will include not only this person's comments, but also the handle they used and so on and so forth. Other things that you can dig up information about them from. So I'm asking you to use the tools at your disposal to investigate this matter. I guarantee you it's going to come out looking the way I said it's looking. Now, for the rest of you out there who are watching my video, I don't want you to take my word for it either. Just what I just told Haverkamp executives to do, I want you to do as well. Don't take my word for it. Take a look at the screenshots and then go find the comments. If the guy who wrote those comments sees this beforehand and deletes his comments, that's okay, because I still have the screenshots and you still have enough to, do some digging. So anybody else who wants to find out whether or not I'm telling the truth, they can easily do so. Now, don't do anything illegal. There's plenty of perfectly legal ways to do this, okay? All right? So don't do nothing illegal. But go ahead and get the information as long as you're doing it perfectly legally. Totally lost my train of thought. Oh, when you find out who this person is, don't say it on YouTube. YouTube has some pretty strict policies with regard to doxing and so on. And while saying this person's name wouldn't be a dox, this person is not a public figure. See, I could say Brooke's name all day long because Brooke is at least a quasi-public figure. She's a prominent landlord in one of the biggest real estate companies in Iowa. She has a whole public figure and a whole public image about her. But this person, to the best of what I can tell, does not. Not that I know a whole lot about him, but he's not a public figure. So don't say who he is on YouTube or anything of that nature. I've already emailed Brent Haverkamp telling him who I think it is. And I know who it is. I mean, I know who it is. I know exactly what his relationship to Brooke is. I know all of that. But I'm not going to say it on here because, again, YouTube's doxing policies, I might not be running afoul of them, but I'm getting close to where that edge is, right? So I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But yeah. Brooke has been talking about me in her private life. She's been talking about her tenants in her private life. This tenant being me. And I wouldn't put it past her to give somebody my credit card information, names of my family members, anything. Social security number, whatever. I wouldn't put her past her to do that. But even if she didn't do that, she's got to go because, I mean, this is pretty much number one of landlord ethics right here. So, again, Brent Haverkamp and other Haverkamp executives, and don't listen to Todd. Todd's just going to cover for her. Do your own investigation. Use your own digital tools. Question Brooke yourself. And see for yourself whether or not I am telling the truth. All right? Okay, so that's my video for today. Like I said, I got a 3-day notice to vacate here yesterday, but this video has been long enough, so I'll talk about that in another video. But Haverkamp executives, how far are you going to let Brooke's harassment of me go? How is it that a tenant who's been here 8 years, who's always been quiet, gets threatened with eviction every time he tries to resolve the noise situation? Meanwhile, the people making the noise never get any notices to quit or anything like that. I just happen to be targeted because of one person having some personal problem with me that only she knows about. And now she's talking about me in her private life. She's talking about a tenant in her private life. Okay. Relevant screenshots coming. This is all I have to say for today. Have a good day, guys.